Okay, I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, so what's your opinion on it? I've heard that really large doses of shrooms are similar to ayahuasca experiences, or I guess 5-MeO-DMT experiences. Is that true?
There's a really substantial structural overlap between psilocin and psilocybin and DMT. At the experience of a high dose of psilocin and the experience of a high dose of DMT are quite similar. But again, you can do things with DMT that you can't really do with psilocin or psilocybin, where most, let's say, responsible or somewhat reasonable people wouldn't want to take an insanely high dose of psilocybin, and people will maybe disagree with me about that. But I would say
what's an insanely high dose of psilocybin?
Let's say 50 milligrams.
Okay, what is that in grams of shrooms?
Maybe a quarter ounce, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yeah. And yeah, most people wouldn't want to do that. Why? Because it's not really necessary to do that. You can get almost everything that you would want to get or need to get from a dose half that much. Again, people will disagree with me on this. They'll say it's completely different at much higher doses. That's fine. I know plenty of people that, for whatever reason, seem to have gotten a lot of benefit from taking these extremely high doses. For the majority of people, it's totally unnecessary. But something like DMT is really interesting because it allows you to have that type of experience that someone might have at a very, very high dose of mushrooms, but to explore it in a slightly more controlled manner because the duration is so short that you don't have to worry about how am I going to navigate this for the next 4 or 5 hours. So that's
okay.
That's
Yeah, I had a wild experience. I did 8 grams of mushrooms and had a pretty intense experience that was quite different from the usual 3.5 grams that I took. It was wild. It was great. It was amazing. It was transformative. But I haven't delved a lot into other ones. I'm looking to try ayahuasca at one point.
I was in West Africa a couple times this winter, and what really struck me was how aggressive and painful the iboga ceremonies were for people. I mean, really something that I would say so extreme that it would never even be considered viable or permissible in the United States as a certainly not in the United States in any kind of medical framework, but really even within a kind of new age community, it would be considered totally unacceptable, because it involved so much fasting, such extreme exertion, all of this stuff. But the people that I met that did this really felt that they had benefited from it. And my own slightly less extreme participation in those ceremonies, which did involve fasting, was amazing. How long did you fast for? Not very long at all. A day.
Demons, be gone!
Be gone, demons.
Be gone!
Leave this studio!
Leave this planet.